Welcome back, Vegas. We are here with
Jennifer Bennie.
Jennifer Bennie. Yeah, why are you dressed like this? First off,
I am a historian
you are a historian,
and I'm a Navy veteran. And I wanted to pay some homage to the women of the past.
Yes.
So I'm Agent 355.
Oh, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about who Agent 355 is?
So they don't know for sure, but they believe it was a woman named Anna Strong.
Mm-hmm.
And she was married to a man who was a colonialist who was fighting with the rebel cause.
Yes.
And she became part of the Culpeper spy ring. And she would help send messages through her clothesline. She would hang different colored petticoats on the clothesline to let people know where messages were and when movements were happening from the British, because she was on Long Island where the British were occupied during the Revolutionary War.
That's fantastic. Yeah, the school I told you about that I used to work at, we learned that women were the best ones to do any type of spy things because people would just overlook them. Everyone looks at guys and all that other stuff to do all the crazy stuff. But no one ever thinks about the women that are involved. My best friend, oh my gosh, she does a lot of undercover stuff in Las Vegas sometimes. And so it's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, you're using gender politics to your advantage.
Exactly.
Right? Because people don't believe, women were educated. They didn't believe women cared. They didn't believe women could have any influence on the war. And so because of that, they're using that assumption to their advantage.
I've actually used it on Fremont Street. You ever see the girls who are like, dressed like in the burlesque thing?
Yes.
And I'm like, can I get like information? Like if I'm doing sometimes I do a little bit of private investigation.
Sure.
Like, oh, this guy's cheating. All right. How can I prove that he's a cheater? I'm like, one of the girls like, I will give you $20 if you can get his number.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the reason, because people don't think about it.
Yeah.
But other than that, what exactly do you do?
So I am a YouTuber. I'm a historian.
Historian.
So I have the Walk with History YouTube channel.
With History YouTube channel.
And I take you on a personal historic adventure to connect with the past.
Fantastic.
I believe the past belongs to all of us. I believe we all need to know our past to understand where we are in the present and where we want to go in the future. So my job and what I do is I take you there. I tell you why this matters, how it impacts you, whether or not you know it. And I give you all the information so you can really think of how to think about this. I don't tell you what to think. That's your job. My job is to make sure I'm giving you all the accurate primary source information, all of it. I'm not cherry picking anything to push you one way or another.
Yeah.
And then you decide how you feel about it.
No, I like that, because I think that old quote goes, if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it, right? And sometimes that's a good thing. Most of the time it's not.
Yeah.
But we should know about history. That way they understand where they're supposed to go. And like I homeschool my kids, right? And one of the things with homeschooling is like, I get it. You should know math. You should know science. You should know how to write. You should definitely know history so you don't make the same mistakes everyone else does.
Yeah.
I'm writing a couple books right now, and all it is every mistake I ever made. So when my kids look at it, they're like, oh, right. That's what Dad did. I don't want to do that exact thing. But yeah, they need to understand that we aren't perfect.
Yes.
Perfection isn't the key. It's the journey and understanding where we go.
Exactly. I was a Navy pilot.
Yes.
And I was winged 3 days after 9/11. And the first time I flew into Iraq, it was 2003 and right around September. And I remember the first time flying to Iraq, and my crewman, who was a lot older than me, said, Miss Mitchell, I'm nervous. And I remember saying to him, don't be nervous. We're trained to do this. We'll be fine. And I remember thinking to myself, what is the history here? Like, what is the big gripe here? What is with these two groups of people? Why have they been fighting for centuries? And I wish I had known more before I went the first time. And when I got back from my deployments and I used my GI Bill to get a master's degree of history, it was because I wanted to know more about America. And I wanted to connect all the dots to where we are today and how do we start? How do we overcome? We've been in conflict since the beginning. And what does that look like? So I really wanted to understand that and learn that and then teach it to other people.
I fell in love with my country the most when I left it. And then I came back, and then I think there's only 2 or 3 states I haven't even been to, but I've been up and down this country, and you really get to see the diversity of thought and ways that it is. It's just a beautiful place. The history of America is incredible. It's actually kind of funny because my cameraman has never been east of Las areas, except for like Florida for a period. But so he's been seeing all these different places. And unfortunately, as you know, there's stereotypes for every region. So you have an idea of what you're walking into.
Sure.
And sure, the outliers are kind of there. But the reality is, it's nothing like that.
It's nothing like that. And exactly like you said, like in my travels, I have found the nicest people, especially when I filmed the Hatfields and the McCoys. Like the biggest feud of American history was the nicest people I've ever met.
I know.
Right?
That was crazy for me too. I was like, this is interesting. I just want to start shooting.
I know. But to your point, I think the greatest thing the military ever gave me is the gift of perspective.
Yes.
And I tell people all the time, I remember after my first deployment driving home to my apartment in San Diego across the Coronado Bridge and thinking, I am an American woman in my own car, driving to my own apartment, and I'm a Navy pilot. And this would never happen in the Middle East.
Oh, no.
And I was so thankful to be an American woman. And I really probably wouldn't have realized that than that first 9-month deployment to the Middle East.
And that's one of the issues, because when I came back, I went to college too. Ironically, I went to an art college. So I went to work first, struggled with PTSD, ended up losing work. And then I was like, I need to figure out something. So I used my GI Bill. I went to culinary school and an art school. Ooh, the difference of thought there completely from... And I found my veterans really quickly because it's like you had that look around. It's like, all right, who looks like they've seen things even though they're not that old? Found you, right? And so it's like you kind of conjugate together. But when you deal with everyone who's like 17, 18, 19 years old, they haven't done anything, but they have really, really strong opinions about things. And it's not their fault.
No.
It's absolutely not their fault. Whatever they're getting fed and pushed down their throats, especially during public school, it makes them a cookie cutter of a person with a very limited perspective of what the world actually looks like. They've never been to Somalia. I've been to Somalia.
Yeah.
I've been to Djibouti. I've been to Djibouti too. I like Djibouti. I have a really funny story with the French military in there. I'll send you that. So it was all by accident, but yeah, I've been to like Asia, Eastern Europe. I've been to Africa. I've been all over the place, and there's no place like America. And I understand why everyone's trying to rush over here. It makes a lot of sense. And sometimes the people who complain the most are the ones who probably should travel.
I agree. And I believe like you only know what your reality is, right? But if you haven't ventured out of America and you have these really strong opinions about it, you should probably get more firsthand experience before you start to have like these really strong opinions where you try to tell other people who they are.
That's my favorite.
Right. And that's where I'm always trying to hold back, because you have no right to tell anybody else who they are, even me. Right. So that's why I take the job with history. Like that's why I do with history. I just want to give you the information to think about who you are. I want to make sure you have all that true information so you can really reflect on who you are. And that has nothing to do with me. That's everything to do with you. But I want you to trust that I'm giving you all of the information. I'm not trying to push you towards one thing or another. I love this country. I know this country's flawed. I know this country wants to be more than it's ever been. And I'm in on that. I'm part of that. I want that for my country too. I'm a very proud American, but I don't pretend that America's perfect. And I feel like the only way we can all push towards that ideal is to know our history, to understand it, so we can make choices based on that and just know that. I don't believe history repeats, but I believe it echoes.
I like that.
Right?
It definitely echoes, because you cannot walk in the same footsteps.
You can't. And you will never have the same technology, the same communication, the same knowledge. It'll always be advancing, but you can learn from the leaders. You can learn from the giants of history. And that's why I like to take you in their steps. I want to take you to what they saw. I want you to take you to where they were. I want to take you to Washington Crossing, right? George Washington, Christmas Day. I'm going to cross this river and I'm going to attack the Hessians in Trenton, and we're going to win a battle, and we're going to build morale, and we're going to push the colonials to believe that this idea, this experiment can really work. And he just did that. Like, he inspired his men to do this on Christmas Day at night across a frozen river. And they had been losing. And here they have this tremendous victory. I actually made my bathroom Washington Crossing.
Oh, that's cool.
So when you sit on the toilet, you can feel like you're on the boat. with George Washington crossing the Delaware.
It's funny because the first time I was there was a few years ago. Like I looked, I was like, oh, it's like a city block in Las Vegas. All this stuff happened. Like, when did we hear? It's like you can, like, everyone should literally take like a week, go to that area and just look at everything, because you realize it's not going to be super spread. I'm from the West Coast.
Yes.
Everything's spread.
Mm-hmm.
But on the East Coast, the 13 original colonies are so close to each other. You can literally walk the story if you really wanted
Yes.
to. And then there are people like yourself who are there who are more than happy to educate you on what exactly happened. Like you said, it's the facts.
Yeah.
As long as you know the facts, you can take what it with or without it, because everyone's like, oh, he had wooden teeth. No, he had also donkey teeth and man, like all kinds of
Enslaved teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, he had insane. It was insane because dental wasn't really. We were still English back in the day, so I thought
Mm-hmm.
that's for Jeff, by the way. It's a whole different story.
I know. I'm against the redcoats right now, so
It's okay. We'll make fun of them when. I remember a couple 4th of July's ago, I did a party and it was an English guy and he calls it Happy Treason Day for 4th of July. It's just burning British flags. I'm just like, this guy's wild. But he's an American citizen, so he's having fun.
I would love to hang out with that guy.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Vegas is a different place.
Yeah.
But where can people find you?
So I'm on Walk with History YouTube, new videos every Wednesday, Walking Wednesday, Walk with History Instagram, Walk with History Facebook, but I also have the Talk with History podcast and started that new podcast every Monday. But I did that because I was driving to Savannah and I thought, I would like to know where to go in Savannah, what to see, where to eat. And wouldn't it be great to listen to a podcast as you're driving there about what to see historically there and what to do there? So the Talk with History podcast was born. You can listen in your car as you're driving to any historic location, and I explain to you what you want to see, where do you want to park, what you want to eat. It's safe for kids to listen to. It's kind of fun. And I try to make history fun and exciting.
Kind of what I do in Las Vegas when people come into town, because I know way too much about the mob history and how it kind of built up. And I was like, oh, wow, this place was so much better before the feds got involved on a different
I went to Vegas. I did Viva Las Vegas. I took you to all of the filming sites of Elvis and Viva Las Vegas. So I do some Vegas stuff too.
Nice. Awesome. Well, great. I appreciate your time.
Thank
I
you.
know you got some stuff to do, so we'll definitely stay connected.
I know I have to go fight the redcoats, but thank you. It was so great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
I know I have to do business.
That was awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Let's see.